Check, check. 1, 2. All right, it seems we're working. I don't have my headset on today, so I don't know if you guys have to pre-warn me if anything goes wrong. Good afternoon. I was going to say good morning, but good afternoon. I got up bright and early today. I was a little bit late, but it kind of worked in my favor. I had a car appointment due at 8 a.m., but turns out they didn't open until 9 a.m. because their hours changed because of COVID. So I woke up at 8:26 and I thought I was late because over the week around Thursday, Friday, I went to go get an oil change, and there was a massive sidewall bubble in my front right tire. Obviously I'm not a car guy, so I was like, what does that mean, dude? So he showed me and he was like, yeah, you gotta get that fixed out as soon as possible, because you know that can blow at any time, and especially if it's your front tire, you'll be SOL in terms of like you'll lose control of the vehicle pretty easily. If it was a back tire, yeah, it's still dangerous, but at least you'll have some stability coming off of it and pulling to the side. So I got that fixed today. They had to replace both the front right and left tire, which was a lot better than I expected. So I called Firestone because I thought Firestone was like the reputable car, you know, fixer-upper place for tires and stuff. Turns out they wanted to charge me $1,000 per tire for my vehicle. So I called Mercedes and I was like, okay, if anybody's gonna have tires made for Mercedes, that's gonna be Mercedes. So I called them and they were like, yeah, it's pretty pricey. And I was like, oh man, what are you guys charging? And I was expecting maybe like 800. No, it was only $440 per tire, and that's still a lot of money per tire, don't get me wrong, but definitely better than $1,000. So I went and got that figured out today. And got a car wash. I don't know if it's like a placebo effect or anything, but I definitely feel like after an oil change and, you know, some tire replacements, the car just feels better. You know, obviously the oil change is a little more placebo, but definitely the tires like affect it a little bit differently. But all right, enough of chit chat. Hello, how you doing, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you're at. So let me go ahead and switch it over to the live screen. I zoomed in on my face pretty close. So hopefully that figures out some of the problems that people were having with me not being too far away from the camera. Let me move the camera a little bit this way and then pull this out a little bit this way. And that should be good right about there. But hello to everybody in chat. Monkey Momo, thanks for being first, man. Always a pleasure. Jay, how you doing, man? Ruben, what's up? What's up? AP, beautiful. He's back with the fire beat. Corduroy, my dude. I don't know if that's how you actually pronounce it, but he made the beat for me. And actually, some good news. So, I used the live stream that we did on the 17th as kind of a test, whether or not it was beneficial for me to be monetizing the live streams. Because, you know, one thing that I always wanted my channel to be is somewhere where you can go where you're not going to have a whole bunch of advertisements shoved down your throat. So YouTube obviously is one of the biggest proponents of shoving mid-rolls and, you know, non-skippable videos. So I made sure that they were skippable, and I don't have any throughout the live stream. Just probably when you open the stream, if you have YouTube Red, that's awesome. That, you know, contributes a little bit more to the channel. Or if you just have ad block, doesn't matter. But so far over the past couple of days that's been collecting analytics, it looks like it's bringing in about $20. So that's actually really good. So I think from now on out, I'm probably going to be monetizing the live streams. Hopefully that's okay with everybody. Obviously you have the 5 minutes at the beginning where I'm not talking and it's just music. So it's not like you're in a rush to get into the stream because you might miss something. But that would definitely help as like a little extra beneficial income for the channel. And hopefully if the channel does grow enough, maybe we could be making $50 off every single live stream. And I'll have some money to kick back into giveaways and stuff. So that's my plans in terms of, you know, like the analytics and the ins and outs of the channel. But it's good to see that, you know, even though I'm not bringing in millions of views, I can still make a little extra scratch. And if I'm pumping out enough live streams, it will be doing a considerable amount per month. Ryan, what's going on, man? How you doing, buddy? I checked in a whole bunch of your I watched your last video that you did on KDA. I started watching the one where you were going to interview the founder, and I watched a bit of that interview, but I didn't get much to it. But people were asking me about KDA and stuff on my channel, and I was like, no, dude, go watch Ryan. Like, he knows what he's talking about. You guys know me. I don't look at altcoins as much as the next guy. I look at the charts. If the charts tell me things are good, the charts tell me things are good. And I'll be honest, I took a look at KDA for a little bit, and it seems like the chart is respecting ABC patterns pretty well. Now, it's definitely choppy because it's an altcoin. It's low, high volatility. But I mean, if you look back in its past a little bit ago, there was plenty of spots where if you were using the ABC method, you could have had a pretty decent entry on KDA. That one was one right there. You would have gotten wicked out, but you would have gotten back in right here. I mean, that one, even to today's date, is 230%. So, I mean, not too shabby for the ABC method to be working on an altcoin like this. So, I mean, it's not something that I would be shy to play if it was on Bybit or anything. You can see right here, beautiful ABC pullback. KDA respecting my method is definitely something pretty surprising. Usually altcoins not too easy to say, but it looks like KDA wants to make one more dip to the downside, put in a lower low than about $17. But once we get back above $17.21, I mean, I don't know. I'm not, Ryan's the dude to talk to. I'm not calling for any numbers here, but that's where it looks like it wants to have the pullback and find stability and continue on pumping. And around that time, I mean, obviously on BTC, I posted this on the Discord the other day. This is the short-term time frame ABC pullback that I'm looking to hop back into a long at. I still am currently holding a short from 67,300, and I'm still gonna be holding that. All right, that's kind of my hedge position, just in case anything happens. Like, this could be the top. We never know. This is why we take our chances. We play it right, use mathematics, keep on trucking. So at the moment, this doesn't look like it's the strongest possibility. All right, don't get me wrong. I take ABCs all the time that I don't think necessarily going to work out, but because they're there, I have to take them. That's how things work. All right. Trader comes first, ego comes second. All right. So right now I got wicked out, waiting for a reentry. I have my conditional already set up, waiting to get back into that trade. And we'll be taking profits at 62,799. All right. Because I still think that, I mean, there is a chance, because we've already put in a lower low, that this could be the final pullback. It's just a very sharp pullback with a kind of more stretched out ABC. If anything, this would be thankful that we got the entry here. Now, I'm still debating, all right, because I haven't really called it for myself whether or not I'm going to take profit at that number. I'm still debating on whether or not to take profit and play it play by play, or if I just want to hop into the long and have them battle out. That's really what I'm looking for. I'm leaning more towards the hop into a long, letting them battle out, because two reasons. One, because of this being a sharper, more harsh pullback than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to find support somewhere around here, something like that. Come up, put in a larger ABC, and then come down to these levels. But instead, we just took the dip right down to the downside. So that being the case, this could be it. And this could be the bottom working itself out right now as we speak. Or this is all going to turn into one massive A. And then we're going to have a B kick to the upside. Probably land somewhere around 6,300. 63,000, my bad. And then come down and put in an even larger ABC than that. Maybe an ABC flat. All right, that could be a possibility as well. All right. That's why I'm kind of still on the fence, but to be determined. We've still got some time to figure out whether or not that's what I'm going to do. But that being the case, let's check out Ethereum. I usually don't focus on Ethereum too much. Ethereum had a really, really good entry. Anybody grab that? I didn't personally, like you said. I've been focusing mainly on BTC, but we had an A coming down, B going up, whichever one you pick out. B going up, and then C coming down, and you can see right here, A, B, C. All right, and that was a pretty wonderful entry. so far to the current time, all right, if you're using a 1% stop loss, right now you're sitting at about a 4.38 restored ratio. Back up to the 0.441, which should be right about here. Looks like about 10.68. All right, I'm a little bit too above that. So it looks like a 9.6. Not too shabby. One more kick to the upside and grab that take profit. But like I said, at the moment, I do think that any pullback right now, I would still keep buying and just kind of holding on to it. I don't think the bull market's done. I think it's close to being done. Like I told you guys in the last live stream, I think that once we have this next major breakout, I think 85K is probably the number that I'm going to be taking profit at on everything. Like I said, I'll be leaving some of my profits in just in case. It's never good to go one way or the other. But I think that's where I'm going to call it quits for the bull market. I think that's it. I'm going to start doing my due diligence. I'm going to start working on my taxes. Getting all my timestamps ready and everything like that. And I get a lot of questions about taxes in my Discord and stuff. Guys, all right, if there's one thing that you can't do, all right, you can listen to how I trade and stuff, but don't listen to how I do my taxes. All right, I don't know half of the shit. I go to, professional people and have them kind of walk me through the process. And I paid the big bucks so I don't get the handcuffs. All right. So I recommend you do the same if you're kind of in the same boat as me, where you got a little bit too much money that you don't know what to do with, and you're walking on hot stones with the U.S. government. So let's go ahead and read chat a little bit more. And I didn't even notice until Ryan said something in chat. We broke 16K today. All right, which I don't watch my subscriber count, and someone will say it in chat. So thank you very much. 16K came a long way. Definitely, it's getting up there. But as well as that, last live stream, I saw someone type in chat named David Tech, and he said that him and his followers were, watching ABCs and trying it out. So I went and checked up on his channel, and he's also a Patreon member for my Discord. And I reached out to him. Now it's still in the works, and nothing's really confirmed yet. But
Hi there,
I want to try to get his help, because obviously he's knowledgeable in coding and everything like that, to possibly get a API bot set up for Bybit. I'm gonna be testing it out if we ever do get it set up for probably a good couple months. Kind of get a good feel for what it does in all types of markets. And obviously if I'm correct, it's gonna be doing a lot of testing in a bear market. But in the future, I do hope that maybe if it proves to be beneficial and safe and all the kinks are worked out, maybe it's something I can promote to you guys. I probably would be asking like a fee in order to use it. I don't know if it's going to be monthly, if it's a one-time fee. Most of the time I like to do one-time fees just because I don't like soaking up people's money over a course of period of time. I'd rather you just know exactly what you're getting. You pay for one time and they're good. And we're still working out how everything's going to work. I haven't talked to him too much about the financial side of what's going to go on. But I'm thinking 50-50. So if you're watching this, David, if I ever do promote it for sales in the future, you're making the code and everything like that. I just kind of made up the method, and obviously you're a lot of the work that would go into it. So 50-50, I think is cool. But he was like, no, it's fine, man. So if anything, I'll have him on the channel, and he'll help explain how it all works and how to get it set up. But he did some back testing in the past of a indicator that he made, which if you want the ABC indicator, you just have to go to his channel, sign up for his Patreon, and then add yourself to the indicator list. Very, very affordable. So if you want to go head out and see his channel, you can do that. Now this is a video from back in September, and it took 225 trades. Now I believe it was taking like every single possible ABC that you can find. Not quite sure how you had it set up, but it came out to a 36% win ratio with 800% profit. Now the recent results that you've sent me over the course of 800 trades was about 12 to 15% win ratio, which is what I tell you guys all the time, about 15 to 20%, depending on the time of the market, with about 300 to 400% net profit, which if you go and you look at some of the other strategies that he's tested on the channel, is still exceeding all of them, at least from what I've seen so far, which I believed in myself and in my strategy, but to see it kind of in front of my face, I'm blown away. Obviously, we've done crazy things, and I've seen my account double, triple, quadruple, but just to see it out there with, code is a lot better. So big shout out to David Tech. Appreciate it, man. And looking forward to working with you. Francis Barrett said, don't do your taxes. Ah, come on, man. I got to do my taxes. Listen, man, I know all about it. All right. I don't think taxes, I think taxes are a good thing to a certain extent, but once you start funding things that are needless, but at the end of the day, the cartel that is the U.S. government will put me in handcuffs if I do not pay to my bills. Has Plan B failed, Kite? What are you talking about? You're talking about from the previous live stream, Plan B? It hasn't failed, just worked out a lot faster than I thought it was. Because we were right here on the last live stream, I believe, and I was looking for this to turn into one gigantic A, come up here, and then come down. So I mean, for us to get to the target even faster, works for me. I don't know how long I'm going to be on here today. I kind of just want to ride around today. You know, I got the oil change, got new tires. I just want to cruise for a little bit. And that's saying something too, Lee. Usually I'm a house recluse. I don't like going places, but that car makes me want to drive places. Just so relaxing. That car is better than the room I'm sitting in. Like, legitimately. It's like a whole apartment in a car. Plan B, the guy from Twitter. Oh, you're talking about 100 trillion USD. I don't like, I'm not saying it's failed, or I'm not trying to compete with any of those models. Someone mentioned in the previous live stream the S2F model, calling for 135K by the end of the year. All right. That's all fine and good, but I think there's multiple factors that go into that, and not just that. Yeah, there's things that you can account for, like Evergrande, COVID, all the things that led into this that we're sitting in right now. It doesn't matter what the top is going to be. To me, the top of my portfolio is going to be 85K. And that's why I decided. I don't care if it goes to 90, 105. I'm calling it quits at 85K. That's not based off any Elliott wave target or anything like that. It's just what I feel comfortable cashing out at and sitting on the sidelines for a good while. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not still going to be trading. I'm still going to have some of my portfolio in the market and available for ABC trades, whether that's shorts or longs. I'll go based off what the setups tell me. I'm always going to be trading, but in terms of the money that has accumulated over the course of the bull run without major leverage, I'm going to be pulling out. That's all. All right, still going to be making the same trades, still going to have the challenge portfolio. Things are still going to keep cruising all throughout the bear market, all the way into the next bull market. Business as usual. But in terms of profit-taking time, I'm choosing 85K. I'm not advising you to sell 85K. I'm not telling you to keep buying all the way past 85K. That's what I've chosen for myself. Which car? It's the S560 from Mercedes. I see on your chart you have planned a long trade on Bybit. Can you tell us the trigger price and stop loss? The trigger price is 58,406, and I'm using a 5% margin stop loss, which is 0.5% at 10x. All right, so I don't know exactly. All right. I've been scalping with your 3, 6, 12, 24 strategy, except on the 2-minute time frame with sniper entries on the 15-minute. So I haven't used that in probably a year and a half. I'm going to be honest with you. All right. I've moved to pure chart analysis. I don't use indicators. I have indicators, RSI, MACD, but I very rarely use them. The inherent flaw with it is it's a lagging indicator. If you want better entries, better stop losses, more profit, you got to use your price, not an indicator. Just a heads up, if you're on here, avoid saying the C word. YouTube tends to not like that word. Gotcha. Last time you told me about your strategy, bro. So what kind of ABCs you don't trade? Can you please show with ABC trendline examples, please? There's not many ABCs that I don't trade. What I will say is it's all dependent on the size of the structure. All right, now there is times where it can be a little bit different. All right, so focus on the larger time frames, not because the larger time frames are the larger structures, but because you're using a higher time frame, it will force your perspective to only view higher structures. All right, what I mean by that is instead of going in here and trying to play ABCs in this area, which is absolutely useless. All right. No, I'm not saying you can't find entries like that. What I'm saying is that your odds of being successful are severely diminished, because in order to be successful on these time frames, you not only have to take into account the current ABC that you're looking at, the structure that lies in, the structure that structure lies in the macro market as a whole. So in order to be successful on the smaller time frames, you have to take into account the entire market in its entirety in order to trade this one insignificant trade when compared to the rest. All right. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be successful with that if you are adept at tracking everything at once, but it is a lot harder for the normal person. Stop spamming the chat. All right, I see your question. You ain't got to spam. All right, I'm explaining for another person's question. You can wait one moment, please. Thank you very much. All right. So instead of focusing on these small time frames and having to go down to the 5-minute chart in order to just make one trade. Now, it would have been a pretty good trade if you would have got it, but instead, back out and focus on the larger structures. Now, a lot of people don't like this because they're a little bit impatient. All right, so wait for the downtrend to form, wait for the uptrend to form, and then wait for the downtrend to form. Now you go, Austin, what if the downtrend never comes? What if this is the bottom? Does it make a difference? No. In order to be successful at trading is waiting for the proper setup based on your strategy and then executing when the time comes. If that time never comes, you shouldn't be in a trade. Therefore, if it goes up or down, You don't care. All right, so then we wait and we go, okay, we got a lower low. All right, so now we go ahead and we say we have an A, we have a B, we have a C. We go ahead, we set up the horizontal line, and as soon as we get back above this line, we enter long. You would have entered long right here and gotten stopped out. And then once you got stopped out, people always go, well, Austin, does that make it invalid? No, we didn't put in a new lower low. This is still a downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. So if we come back above this line, we enter long. All right, so then we enter long right here. You know, it rocket ships to the upside, and then boom, we come back down and we put in a lower low. Now you have two options here. All right, me personally, I waited for it to come back above that yellow line, but now you can see we have an A, we have a B, and we have a C. You could have gotten an even better entry, making up for your lost profit. So then, for me personally, once we came back above this line on the same exact wick, I kid you no less, I got back into the trade. From there, if we are above that line, we have every single reason in the world to believe that price is bullish. Now you go, well, Austin, what if price isn't bullish? Well, then once we come back above that line or back below that line, you'll get stopped out. As simple as that. It's an if this then that statement. And that's what the entire ABC process is about, is it creating an if this and that statement that takes the head game out of trading and makes it as simple and easy for your brain as possible to stay in a trade if your trade strategy calls for it. All right, so we came all the way down, we touched it, oh, we kissed it, and then we bounce right back up. I guarantee you there's a couple people that go, yeah, we're probably gonna come back below that line, and then they get antsy, they take their profit, and then they're expecting a better entry, but it never comes. And then it rocket ships right back up. I held my long entry all the way throughout that process, and then I took profit right about, I forgot where it was. I think I took my profit like right about here. All right, reason being, I was going for a new car. I took some money out for a down payment. That was that. All right, otherwise I would have held on to the trade for the full period of time. And then once you develop a ABC position in the opposite trend, you have either two options. You can take your profit, or you can what? Hedge trade. And if you enter a short position with the same exact margin size and leverage as your long position, they cancel each other out. So if I already have $3,000 in profit, this one will, the long trade will lose $500 if it comes down, but the short trade will gain $500 if it comes down, canceling each other out. All right, so where was the opportunity to do that? Well, you had two options. You had the larger structure, which is what we like to focus on most here. All right, so we had an uptrend that broke into a downtrend that broke into an uptrend. So you can go ahead and identify this line as your if this and that statement, or you can focus on just the C wave itself and maybe get a better entry. That entry would have been right here. We have an uptrend, we have a downtrend, and then we have the C wave. All right, within the C wave, you can see uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. That could have been your entry right there. So I know it's a long answer, but like I said, there's not many ABC trades that I won't take. What the difference is, what will happen, all right, in terms of the size of the structure. All right, it's all about understanding where you are in the structure versus where you would like to be, or what are your possibilities in the future to be. All right, let me just make sure that everything went smoothly on Bybit's side. Okay, cool. And we are in the trade. We're up 15% already on 40% of our account. So, current trade that I'm in. Told you I saw your question. All right. We have an A to the downside, a B to the upside, and we have a downtrend so far. Now, I wouldn't say that we've broken the downtrend just yet, but we're definitely on our way. We have put in a higher high than this low right here, which is definitely a good step in the right direction. So we have larger ABC. Now, traditionally what we would like to see is a longer A and then B and then C. All right, that would have gave us a little bit better of a reinsurance that this was going to be a proper ABC, but it can work out like this as well. So if you look at the A and the B, now you have the C. So we go ahead and we go into the C, we can see, okay, all right, we have a downtrend that broke into a semi-uptrend, and then we have a downtrend. All right, so I got my long entry from right here. I got in right here, all right, and then I got stopped out, and then I re-entered right here as soon as we came back above that line. All right, because the setup is still valid. There's no reason. So what do you do as a stop loss? Swing low? My stop loss is static. My stop loss is not based off of price action or indicators or anything like that. No ego, no opinion. All right. Whatever asset I'm trading, I kind of look at it and I go, okay, all right, this is an altcoin that's really, really volatile. But the percentage gains that when I do win trades are absolutely insane. So I don't have to be as crazy with my stop loss. So I might use a 1%, 2% stop loss. Now with BTC, because there is so much money in that market, it's not as volatile as, say, you know, basic attention token or Matic. All right. So in that case, I'm using a 0.5% stop loss, 0.5%. Now that is at 10x leverage with a 5% margin stop loss. All right. Meaning if I'm using 40% of my portfolio, I'm willing to lose 5% of that 40% at 10x, which equals 0.5% on real chart. All right. Why did you not take this ABC and not wait for a lower low? Because we already had the ABC set up. We had downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, and this is on the 1 hour time frame. So I mean, this is not that insignificant. All right. And we already have a larger A and a B, and we were just in a lengthened C. Now it could be that we do happen to put in a higher high here, and this turns into one bigger ABC going to the downside. That's absolutely fine with me. All right, it's all about taking the chances, playing the mathematics. Otherwise, you're gonna miss out on stuff. Hello, Gon. Long time no see you. Long time to see you. I appreciate you being here. At what level do you take partial profits and 100% profits? That's dependent on you. All right. Me personally, if I am playing a kind of just a retesting style, all right, I'll just take full profits. Now, in a case scenario like this, all right, it's totally up to you, man. I'm not here to dictate how you do everything exactly. All right. So for me personally, if I am playing just the scalping retest style, I aim for the 0.441 and I take full profit. Now with this trade, because this is looking like a pullback into a larger push to the upside, I'm holding off. I'm going to stay in this trade. Either I get stopped out or we put in a higher high and I find some position to get out in the future. When you ABC trade, and let's say on a breakout on that line, do you open a position? I open it immediately. All right. I don't wait for candle close. I don't wait for average body. As soon as price action gets over that line, even by 1 cent, I am in. All right. Not a lot of people can play like that. It's a very, you got to be there at the ready. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you guys, everybody talks about how hard it is to always be there for this stuff. Now, if you do it properly, it's not. All right. If you wait for the A, you wait for the B, You can set up an alert if you put in a lower low than the A. All right, once that alert is triggered, all right, once you're below that level, you set up the conditional, and then you set up an alarm once you get entered in on that trade, and then from there, you might have to watch it for 15 or 30 minutes periodically, or just keep the alert active, and just in case you get wicked out and then you have to get back in, wicked out, wicked back in. That's all. I don't move my stop loss. All right, my stop loss is based off of that if then that if this then that line. That is it. All right, moving your stop loss is doom. All right, trailing stop losses are put there so that you get market stopped out and you have to pay fees. Stuff that is in your face to make things easier are actually the things that lose you the most money. All right. Now, I'm not saying you can't move your stop loss up. What I'm saying is you need to wait for the proper time. You need to wait for the next push to the upside with an ABC pullback, and you need to have another if this and that line. So either one, you've already taken profits and you're setting up a new trade, or two, you're adding to your position on the new ABC, and now you can move your stop loss up, maybe not as close with that one because you're still heavily in profit, but you see my point. Moving your stop loss is just a sign that you're hyper scared of what's going to happen. You're not accepting the loss. All right, just because you're in profit doesn't mean that you're good. All right, even if I'm heavily in profit, I'm talking 100, 200% in profit, I don't move my stop loss. I'm willing to lose all of that profit plus my initial. I'm not saying get the full margin liquidated. What I'm saying is what I'm willing to lose. You're not truly willing to lose what you put down. You have no business putting it down. Any advice on how you go about profit taking? For me, it's usually one and done, but for some other people, it could be a little bit different. So one strategy that you could do is, once we get to the 0.441, you take 50% of your profit, and then let the rest ride. That's all up to you. Yeah, the manipulation. Bybit is altering the price action to stop me out. They want my Wendy's fund. Any good trades right now you're looking at, dude? We just got into one. It's on my screen right now. I got re-entered on that trade right here. That one. If your stop loss is at 0.5%, if you play with 10x leverage, isn't it 5%? Yes. That's what I was saying before. I'm using 40% of my portfolio as margin. 5% of it is what I'm willing to lose. All right, so 5% of 40%, all right, which is 2% of the portfolio. And at 10x leverage, that is a 0.5% real chart stop loss, but it is 5% of my margin stop loss. So basically, if your stop loss hits 8 times in a row, but then you win, it should be big. Exactly. So that's the whole point of this. All right. Even if you get stopped out 4 times, but the trade, if you do win, is a 10 restore ratio trade. Now, it doesn't exactly equal 6, right? And the way I'm getting that is we lost 4 times, but the trade itself is a 10. So 10 minus 4, 6. All right. Because obviously as your account dwindles, all right, the amount that you're willing to lose next trade dwindles, but it shouldn't be that drastic that it makes a crazy difference. All right. So you're still going to make 6 times what you were willing to lose. All right, so if I'm willing to lose $100, all right, but if I do win, I win 1,000. All right, if I lose 4 times, I'm losing $400. So on when I do win, I might be bringing in $580 profit. All right, probably a little bit more, but I'm just trying to give the best estimate that I can. What's your EW for medium time frame? Like you did you try to count the last wave of the cycle? I'm not really focusing on EW through this third wave. In the first wave I did, just because there was a lot of price discovery, and I'm right now, once we break the next higher high, that's still price discovery, but I'm mainly just focusing on where the price action wants to take me, where it's showing the tops, where it's showing the bottoms, and letting it lead the way. All right, not too concerned on calling arbitrary numbers. I just don't see the point in it anymore. Dr. Pablo, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. I use Bybit. I've been using Bybit for the last 4 years almost. And I've never had a problem with them. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of other good exchanges. I'm sure Fimex is a good exchange, but Bybit is what I've always used. I get approached 1,000 times a day from all these other exchanges offering me, you know, 10K to switch to their website. And I'm like, what's the point? All right, first off, from an ethics standpoint, you guys seeing me switch exchanges just for money is not a good look. Doesn't fit my brand. All right. Trying to maintain integrity around here. All right. And it's just like, why? That's a lot of work. I'm a lazy dude. I don't feel like moving all my money over to your exchange. You still using 0.25% risk on, per trade on your new account? No. So since this account just started, I'm using 2% risk. All right. Because it's a small account right now. The reason why we were using 0.25% risk on the old challenge account was once it got up to like 20 to 40, you know, 20, 30K, I don't need to be using 2% risk to make a couple racks per trade. All right. 1% of, you know, 30K is, you know, 300. So about $75 of risk is what I was using when we were at 30K. So, you know, you make a 10 restore ratio trade, that's $750. Make it 20, $1,500. So $1,500 if you win. If you lose nothing. That's the whole point of trading. You give loans without charging any interest on it? No. I already got plenty of loans out right now. To this date, I got about $40,000 that people got to pay me back before I give out another loan. And I wish I was charging interest on those loans, and I'm probably going to do it in the future. What's the highest R&R trade you've ever gotten? I believe it was on Ethereum. I forgot what the entries and exits were, but it was a lot. I want to say 60, 70, 80, something like that. Frank. We got 180 people in here. It's crazy. Robert, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Doing pretty good. Got my tires changed today. I had a wonderful conversation with this dude while we were waiting for our cars to get fixed. It was an old Jamaican black man, and he said motherfuck every other sentence. And we were just talking about cars, and he asked me about like the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. We just got to talking about that, and like it was such a good conversation. And like we were just, you know, kind of vibing on how everything's screwed up. Media just wants to pin everybody against each other. You can always say negative things to get on algorithms, and I miss them already. How's my B-Day? Pretty good. You know, we didn't do anything crazy, just something light. Had some ice cream cake, watched some movies. We watched Have a Good Trip on Netflix, which can kind of insinuate what we were doing for my birthday. And then I watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is a wonderful movie to watch in a heightened state of consciousness. I've been doing the 1 minute just for dopamine. Do you, man? Everybody's got a vice. All right. I'm no stranger to it. Like, I try to set a good example on the live streams and everything like that. But if anybody's in the Discord, you've watched me be a degenerate a couple times, playing on those smaller time frames. Because it's fun. It is fun. But I'm being straight up. I don't think it's more profitable. You know, I've been training for a couple, 4 or 5 years. You know, I'm decent at it, but I don't think in the long term it's a good strat. I'm not gonna get into politics about all that stuff because those types of situations are so heavily heated. What I will say is both sides are fucking idiots. All right, you got the super right wing people that are, don't seem to find anything wrong with it. And then you got the super left-wing people that are like, he's a fucking murderer. You just have a whole bunch of stuff on each side. You know, they try to play it up. He went out intentionally to murder people, stuff like that. To me, I'm a citizen. I don't know much about the law. I let the judges, the jury, figure that stuff out for themselves. Whatever they come up with, I agree with. It just, like, I hate the media altogether. Like, they got, like, people trying to find out who the jury is and doxing them, sending them threats. That shit shouldn't happen. All right? Despite what side you're on or what verdict they came to, that should never happen. Where media is intentionally intimidating people and trying to coerce them almost into giving one-sided verdicts. Absolutely despicable how this whole thing went down. Every bit of it. I didn't watch, every single hearing or anything like that. The one thing that I will say is that I watched like the final video of like guilty or not guilty, and just watching him break down and cry. You can't help but feel for the dude, all right? Especially for anybody that's young, to almost be put away for life despite whatever side you're on. Like you can't imagine what that must feel like for somebody to be in that tense situation for that period of time and then just finally have it all kind of like lifted off your shoulders. And like the gig's not up, man. Like that dude, he's gonna have a hard life to have his name attached to something that big in the news. you can only imagine what the rest of his life's going to look like. So even if you guys were on the side of he is guilty, you still got to think he's got to live the rest of his life having all that under his belt, and people giving him shit, and, you know, might get rejected from places for employment. There's so much that's going to happen after this. People are just thinking about the short period of time and that simple verdict of guilty or not guilty. But that's enough politics. I don't like to talk about that. I know carbon, don't get me wrong, carbon-based life forms, greatest thing in the world to have in the background when you're listening to stuff. But we're trying to monetize the streams to have a little bit of kickback for giveaways in the future. So this is a copyright-free beat made just for me. Hey bro, does ABC work on alts? It works on just about everything that is in a well-treated market. I've pointed out AMD. This was AMD's last ABC. Downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, put in a lower low for come back above. Up like 60% from entry. Oh, 53%, my bad, 54. You got Australian versus US dollar. Is it AUD? Yeah, it's AUD. You got the Australian dollar. A, B, C. A, B, C. That one didn't have anything really major at the top there to call it, but I can't win them all. Right here, you have a pretty good downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. Here, A, B, C. You even had a better entry point right here. So either here or here. Then you had A, you had B, you had C. We even pointed out KDA, which, you know, KDA is the last thing I would expect to be respecting ABCs. Like I said, just because it's not respecting ABCs doesn't mean I don't think it's a decent coin. What I'm saying is I don't think the market's mature enough. But the fact that it is, I don't know, kind of tells me a little bit of something that maybe some of the people that are in this coin might know what they're doing. All right. Sushi. ABC top right there. Ooh, Sushi's doing a little something. Actually, Sushi might be a very good position to get in pretty shortly. I'm going to say that. All right. If this does happen to put in a lower low and I can pick up an entry here, you bet your bottom dollar I will. Bro, just like current 1 hour BTC chart, if a candle pumps over entry price, when do you enter? At the entry price. All right. As soon the candle does, I mean, as soon as price action comes over this line, I'm in the trade. All right. I was in the trade right here. 406. God, it's so close I can't even get it. All right. As soon as it came over that line. Now, the reason why, you know, it wasn't exact, all right, was because I was putting in that conditional order from the car wash. And obviously on the phone, it's a little bit hard to see the exact numbers. What do you think about the last raw thoughts from Chris Webby? I always agree with Chris Webby because I like Chris Webby's stance. All right, Chris Webby's not left, he's not right. Right? He doesn't give a fuck. I think he's correct when he says nobody cares about you. All right, Democrats don't care about you. Republicans don't care about you. All right, it's all about the lobbyists, who brings the most money to the table, and everything is so divided in terms of, in order to win anything. Local election, presidency, if you want to get bumped in those algorithms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all right, you have to promote negative things about the opposing party. So once they get into office, the only people that are in office are the people that are diametrically opposed to the other side. So there is never a point where they cross lines and they go, yeah, that's what's good for the American people. It doesn't matter what we think or what you think. That's what's good for the American people. And they shake hands. That doesn't happen anymore. It won't happen anymore until things get fixed. Or if they never get fixed, we're kind of screwed. Don't you like sports cars like GTR or Ferrari? Of course. I mean, like, everybody likes sports cars. I like how they look. Obviously, they're fast. But to own one myself, I don't think I would. I like my car. It's the perfect combination of sports car and luxury. You know, it's smooth to ride in. You don't feel like you're gonna die. AMG GTs do look pretty cool. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Making me blush. Our weekly close prediction is around 61,400. That's a respectable number. What's the BTC update, Kite? We got an ABC to the downside with a smaller ABC off of the suspected C wave. The current long entry point for me was 58,406. And I do think I plan on holding that trade forever. Not forever, obviously, but I think I'm going to try to find long positions and hold on to them for a higher high. I mean, if I can hold it all the way until my $85,000 cash out, I will. But who knows? Still currently holding the short from 68,000. And I think, you know, I'm going to let that get stopped out. If price action does decide to continue going up. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'll probably let it get stopped out. I'll probably put my my stop loss just a little bit above the entry, just to save me some moolah. But besides that, I'll let it carry weight. What's my Discord? So in the description of the video, there's a Patreon link. It's $50 a month, pretty pricey. But you get into the Discord. It's just kind of like a donation to me in terms of, you know, me putting work into the channel. But in there, you'll find when I get into trades in the Kite's Thoughts channel. There's a couple tutorial videos that aren't on my YouTube channel. As well as that, it's just a place to connect to other people that are trading similarly and might have been doing it for a longer period of time. But if you do sign up, I would not sign up today or any time in the future. Wait until at least the 2nd of December in order to sign up. Trust me, you're not going to miss anything. If I get into any major trades or anything like that, I always come on live stream. All right. Usually either before or right after. And I always plan trades in advance. So don't rush into anything, because if you do join now, you'll get double charged. You'll get charged once for the 10 days that you're in. And then once the month flips over, you'll get charged again. Don't want that to happen. How's your challenge account going? Pretty good. I mean, we haven't had any major trades yet on it. I mean, the short position brought it up a decent amount. So far, we're up like $200 or something like that. And then this one right here, so far, we're up like, what, 15, 20%? Kind of just covering the losses from the short. Yep, we're up 20%. What are you planning to do after the bull run is over? I'm still going to trade. I'm still going to be on YouTube. Everything's going to, continue as normal. I plan on pulling out my profits at 85K and then kind of just storing it away into stable coins. And everybody goes, what about the US laws? They're going to get rid of stable coins. All right, I'll work that out when the time comes. But so right now, ain't nothing set in stone. All right. And I'll still have money in the market to trade. I'll still have the challenge account. I'll still be taking every single ABC that I see and playing it like normal. Ain't nothing changed. There ain't no day off. Ain't no vacations. Buyer motive, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. How do you feel about watches? It could be a decent store of value. A buddy of mine had a Rolex for years and it gained value, and he gets to wear it. I don't personally care for watches. I've never been the type of dude to have like accessories, so to speak. Like tattoos and stuff. I think they look cool on other people, but I just don't know. If you guys ever see me in public, if you guys live in the Richmond, Short Pump, Glen Allen, Midlothian area, if you guys ever see me in public, I don't look fancy. All right. I probably will have some raggedy hair because I took a shower the other night, and I'll be wearing khakis and a hoodie. Yeah, I got Yeezys on, but I walked through mud in those, all right? They're shoes meant to be worn, not coddled. Don't get mad at me. What was the harmonic Elliott wave book? Harmonic Elliott wave, a case for modification of Aaron Elliott's impulse wave structure by Ian Copsley. Hi, Kite. You mentioned your current trade is 40% of your portfolio, but also mentioned risk was 2%. Yeah. So I'm using 40% of my portfolio as margin inside of the trade. All right. And that is at 10x. All right. And I'm risking 5% of the margin. All right. So 5% of 40% is 2% of the whole. Might be a little bit more. Let me check. All right. So I got about 1,100. We'll just put that. All right. So I'm using 40% of my portfolio as margin. I'm risking 5% of that, and 5% of 100% of my portfolio is worth $22, which is 2%. And I'm using a 0.5% stop loss. I keep feeling like there's like a hair sticking up or something. Why the 0.441? It kind of came from traditional Elliott wave. So on pullbacks, typically we're going to see the 0.618 or the 0.382. So I just went for the direct middle of those two things. feel like I'm missing some questions here. How to not keep checking trade and panicking. I mean, there's no easy answer to that. It's just practice. You know, have a little bit of faith in what you do. And I mean, first and foremost, are you risking what you're supposed to be risking? If you're risking 5-10% of your portfolio, I get why you're panicking, because that's a lot of your portfolio to put on the line. But if you're risking 2, 1, 0.5%, right, you should know what the end goal is. Whether or not you get stopped out 3 times trying to get an entry and then you win the 4th, or whether or not you get stopped out 7 times and you only make just enough to barely break into profit, that's the point of trading. Right? As long as you understand this and you work with an if this and that statement, there should be no room for interpretation on how things should go. And you just reassure your biology that that's the answer. And over time, once you get into a more robotic state in terms of this is how I do things, this is the code that is written in my brain on how I trade, things will start getting easier and easier, because then it becomes a habit. Hey Kite, why no longer showing trades? Bybit put out a statement basically saying that for my safety and for the safety of the website, they don't want people showing trades anymore. That's why you saw people like CryptoFace switch over to Femex or what other exchange he's using, because they don't have the same policy. Me, I don't care about showing you my trades. I care about showing you my knowledge. I know what I'm doing, and I know the money's there, so I ain't worried about clout. I've had a few trades open for about a month now, and I'm finally at the point where I don't feel the need to constantly check my trades. That's what's up, man. That's the best feeling, is when you got good stuff going on and you can just go do things. Even if like the time is kind of like needy, where, you know, there's sometimes where I'm out at dinner with the family and I, you know, got to go on my phone for 5 minutes and set up entries and stuff. I can click my phone off. I don't have to be constantly watching it. How do you hedge trade in USD? Second account. If you're using a inverse perpetual, you either have to be using a separate account or a sub account. If you're using USDT, you just open a short if you're in a long, or vice versa. You don't need a second account. You can have both a short and a long open at the same time on the same profile. Bro, target of your current wave is at entry of the bigger ABC. No, that's not my target. Like I said, technically the target is 62,873. All right, if I was going to take profit, that would be where it's at. But I plan on holding this trade until we put in a new higher high. I'm looking to cash out at like 85K. I've longed algo at 1.78, 1.79. Should I close my trade when? I can't tell you when to do that, man. I understand you're a big fan, man, but please, I'm not in the business of being a train conductor of trades. All right, I'll take a look at algo for you, but you got to make that decision yourself. There's not much I can do with this chart, my dude. I mean, it looks like you got some solid support here. You're building up a resistance. Just wait. All right. What do you have on the line? Are you risking 100% of your portfolio? Get the shit. Get it out of there. All right. What are you doing that? All right, if it's below 5%, and you got a decent stop loss, aka under this support, all right, you're good. Just wait it out. If you lose, so be it. You'll find a new entry. Ain't no reason to be tense over that. And one good thing is if you're trading altcoins like this that don't have the best looking charts, all right, obviously you have to look at the supports and where you want to put your stop loss and everything like that, but go look at BTC, all right? Go look at BTC's chart. Is BTC showing a bullish posture? If yes, why are you freaking out about your long position on this altcoin? Because if BTC goes up, everything goes up. Am I in a long right now? Yes, I'm in a long from 58,406. Hey, no. All right, you're using good risk. All right, 3% is a little bit higher, but it's decent risk. All right, your stop loss is in. BTC is in a bullish posture. I can't tell you where to take profits, but the upside does look like it's the highest possibility. It's very good. Ain't no reason to freak out. If we want to count ABCs, is it better to use Hakonishi or candlesticks? I prefer Hakonishi candles because it does base the candle color off of the trend, which is a lot better if you want to play a strategy like ABC, which involves trends. He's a pug. He's a half pug, half Palpian. Palpians are like the Chihuahuas with the really fluffy ears. But he got all of the pug attributes. Except his snout. His snout isn't as pushed in as a lot of the other pure pugs. Do you trade simple ABC or ABC of wave C? It depends. All right, it's whatever is the most obvious answer. All right, so right here, all right, very, very good example. All right, we have an A, we have a B, and we have a C. All right, in this case scenario, I just traded the larger ABC. All right, but you could have went down and traded this one right here. It's all up to you. Whichever one works best for your scenario at the time. Is the price now a bad entry? Yes. All right, reason being is if this is our last support, I just talking from a simple support and resistance perspective here. All right, if this is our last support, why would you want to buy all the way up here? Because now, in order to have a decent stop loss, your stop loss has to now be like 3 to 4%. All right, so even if we do get back up to this level, that's only a 1.5% or 1.57 risk to reward ratio. But if you buy as soon as you're supposed to and set up a decent stop loss, all right, that now goes from 1.5 to almost a 15. You're making 1,500% more profit than you would if you bought right now. That's the whole point. You know, if you're playing off an indicator, all right, a VWAP or a MACD cross, you might have entered right now or, you know, right here. But if you're watching price will always give you the best entry. How do you decide whether to take profit on the 441 or take profit? It's all up to you. There's no set way to do this. It's all up to you. What do you feel comfortable with? Do you want to take 50% profit of the 0.441, let the rest ride? Do you want to take 100%? For me personally, I think that we still have a little bit further to go in the bull market. So I'm making the executive decision to hold on to this long entry. It's not for any particular reason. The chart's not showing me anything like that. It's just what I feel in terms of this is what's happened in the past. That's what I'm going with. Will it bite me in the ass? Who knows? It might. All right. I don't want to be the dictator on whether or not you take profits like this, take profits like that. You choose where you take profits. What matters is how you take your entries. Because profit is profit no matter what. Now, you have to make sure that the profit that you're taking away from trades equals out what your win-loss ratio is in order to make up for those losses. So for me, all right, as long as I'm taking profit anywhere between an 8 or above, I'm absolutely fine no matter where I take profit. Either the earliest I can possibly get it or the latest I can possibly get it. As long as when I hit that market out button, it's above an 8, I'm cool. What do I think of the oil chart? Is it just oil? I don't trade commodities like this. Now, is it actual oil or is it crypto oil? At what price will you sell your spot BTC? 85K. Once BTC gets to 85K, I'm selling out of everything except for ETH. And I'll give ETH about a week. And whatever ETH is at a week from that time, I will sell then. Oil crude. How are oil prices going down, but my gas keeps going up? Ridiculous. I don't know, you got two options. You got this ABC right here, or you got this one right here. It looks like it wants to bounce back sometime soon. Yeah, this ABC right here, ABCA, ABCB. And then from that, you could have got in right here, $64. Brought it up to 85. You said reasoning behind your exit strategy, you said. With taking profit on 85 and then waiting a week for ETH. It's just what I feel comfortable with. All right. So 85K is what, my target for this bull run was only, about 70,000. So we got one more wave to push. So 85K sounds good to me. I really don't care where it's going to go. I can go all the way to 100K. I don't care. All right. People that are trying to, get every single ounce of profit out of it are the ones that are actually going to lose the most. All right? Because when that top hits, and it will, it's going to come crashing down on people. And they're always going to be, buy the dip, buy the dip. And it's not going to be a dip. It's going to be a bear market. All right. And then from that point, once BTC starts leaving, most in the past two bull markets, what you see is Ethereum run for about 2 weeks. All right, we saw that this bull market. BTC hit that $62,000 top, took a tumble to the downside, ETH kept blasting up all the way up to 48, 45, something like that. So that's why I'm waiting a week on ETH and then taking profit after that. All right, not waiting 2 weeks, waiting a week. All right, even though I said it typically tops out around the 2-week mark. All right, I always take profit before the curve. You guys gotta stop spamming shit. This is getting ridiculous. Don't do that. Just makes it harder on me. Alright, I helped you out on Algo. I gave you my best opinion. Within that opinion, I gave you multiple different possibilities of how to work out other stuff. I am not going to be the train conductor for your portfolio. Alright, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to do the work for you. I appreciate you very much. At the same time, you can't step over that boundary of me trying to give you financial advice. Is it harder to trade in the bear market? No, not really. It's the exact same thing as the bull market, just you buy the pullbacks to the upside. Do you know what a swing failure pattern is? Yeah, it's pretty much an ABC almost to the T. On some of the diagrams that they show, it's not exact what I do, but it's pretty damn close. I'm gonna stay away from Shiba, my dude, but I appreciate it. How do you decide what time frame to use? Well, you gotta determine what kind of structures you're trying to play. You're trying to play the small time frame structures or the larger ones. I typically tell people stay on the 15, 30 minute, 1 hour if you want to have a successful time. If you want to have a dopamine rush, yeah, go down to the 1 minute, 5 minute, but don't expect to be the biggest winner on the block. And shit, even the 4 hours good. Have I taken partial profits on the short already? Nah, I don't think I am. It's not that I'm bearish. I'm in a long right now. All right, right now at this point, I'm hedging. All right, we have a long position from down here. And, you know, there's a short-term take profit if you guys want to take it at 62,873. But I'm hedging them together. Don't you think two very toppy traditional markets and skyrocketing the XY look worrying? Absolutely. Absolutely. But before this major bear market hits, it's always going to be a blast to the upside. There's always that last bit of euphoria before things actually fall. All right. I think this next bear market's going to be insane. All right. I'm going to be shorting it, playing along with you guys. I'm going to be here doing it. There's not much to worry about as long as you see it coming. What's my favorite altcoins? And the number one spot would definitely be XMR. big ones that I really got, like, I really don't consider like Ethereum like an altcoin at this point. It's like its own network. Everything runs off of it. It's earned its spot as like this the platinum of the crypto market. But in terms of like legitimate altcoins, you got Basic Attention Token, XMR, and Numair. All right, I have a couple of other ones, but not something that is even mentionable. Numair specializes in finding the best bots around the world and then putting them into competitions for a crypto hedge fund, which I think can be very advantageous in the future. So that's why I'm investing in it. Obviously, I believe a lot in decentralized advertising. Basic Attention Token is good for that. And then XMR is kind of like what Bitcoin wanted to be but failed to be in terms of absolutely private. And XMR is, you know, it's obviously during the bull market, it's being used more of as a speculative asset, but it's one of the only cryptocurrencies that are legitimately being used around the world every single day as a legitimate currency being used to buy and sell products, which despite the legality of those products, it is still a free market asset that is being used legitimately for market buys and market sells of real products, which to me is very valuable. And that's why I'm investing in those coins. Let's say you couldn't use the ABC method. How would you trade differently? I don't know. I'll figure that out. ABCs have been working for 20 years. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. And when they do, I'll figure it out. That's what I always do. Alright guys, with that being said, we've been streaming for about an hour and 30 minutes. I told you guys I wasn't going to be on for a whole lot today. I just want to kind of chill out, watch some TV, go for a car ride, grab some food. I'll probably be back on Monday to see how things are going, whether or not we need to kind of reassess or we're in a working trade and things are moving smoothly. Like I said, I mean, it looked like Sushi and KDA wanted to come back down. But who knows? Maybe those will end up as ABC flats. But it did look like some of the market wanted to come back down a little bit. So this might not be a winning position, but we'll see. All right, guys. I'll say goodbye. I'll see you guys next time, probably on Monday around 1 p.m., 12 p.m., something like that. That's Eastern Standard Time. U.S. East Coast. Profit Taker. Bye. Iron Scooby. See ya. Red, Blue, Green. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bitcoin and bong rips. That's what's up, man. Great stream, bro. See you next one. You as well. Ruben, take care, mate. You too. Mr. D, peace. Loans. Thanks, Kite. Thank you. Dr. Pablo Gaming. See you, legend. Oh, stop. Have a good one, man. Stephen Carpenter. You too. Johnny on the spot. Bye, buddy. Ernesto. Thanks, bro. Thank you for showing up. Have a nice weekend, Kite. Thanks for the stream. See ya. See you. Alright, guys. Let's switch over to the intermission screen here. I can get real close. Bye.